Miranda Stovall brought a bag of books with her to a Senate Education Committee. She says all contain subject matter not appropriate for kids.
There are pictures, illustrations of sexual activities with adult sex toys.
Some lawmakers say these items do not belong in schools, and they say parents need more of a say-so to keep them out.
This bill's purpose is to guarantee the parents' involvement to end their child's access to this material that they may believe is harmful to their family values and interest.
Opponents say that it's subjective, and what may be offensive or obscene to some may not be to others.
I call this the book banning bill because that's exactly what it is.
Senator Danny Carroll asked the American Civil Liberties Union representative if books dealing with pedophilia would be acceptable.
Specific text.
Yes or no?
Should a book that promotes pedophilia, can you
be allowed in our schools? Yes or no?
Well, I guess you and I might.
Yes or no, please.
I don't know because
The bill passed in committee 11-1. Senator Reggie Thomas was the lone no vote.
I cannot again support any bill that frustrates and limits the education of our children. And for that reason, I vote no.
The bill also directs boards of education to address parent concerns over material and require principals to respond within 7 days to complaints. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.